By the way, he survived. That guy laying down in the pool of blood, he survived. And the only reason he survived is because very dark man just so happened to be passing through at that particular point. If very dark man was not passing through at that particular point, he wasn't going to survive. Regardless the fact that there were police officers and soldiers in close proximity, less than 50 meters away. They left this guy to be shot and bleeding out in his pool of blood after being a victim of the rampant kidnappings that have been going on for about 7-8 years in Nigeria. It's all over the place. Passenger vehicle, I believe he was the driver, he was shot, and every passenger in the vehicle, over 10 people, were taken into the bushes by terroristic kidnappers that have gone rampant all over the country. Why did the police officers and the soldiers not make an attempt to rescue this guy that was shot and bleeding? By the time Very Dark Man got to the scene, they found him alive. And because Very Dark Man and his friends intervened, lifted this guy up from the ground, put him in their vehicle and drove him to the hospital, which by the way he survived, he wouldn't have survived. So the question is, why did the police and the soldiers leave him to die? This shows you the value of life, the value of human life within the Nigerian society and the government and its parastatals. They have no regard. You're supposed to die as a Nigerian.
Oh, simple Lord, oh, Jesus.
Nobody has any right to criticize Very Dark Man at this point in time. Yes, he's not a perfect guy like everybody else. So he might do some things that might be annoying, but 99% of what this guy does is very... You don't have the right to criticize VDM unless you yourself, you are a perfect person. If you're one of those people that hasn't had any reason to be blamed for anything, then you can criticize VDM. In the last week alone, in 1 week, he has exposed the Nigerian government's parastatals, road safety, VIO, their complicity in the avoidable accidents that have claimed many lives, made many people paralyzed. They've turned to vegetables. Very Dark Man himself, because of his protest against the Dangote cement truck, was able to force the government of Edo State to pay the bills of victims of car accidents, Dangote cement accidents, that was caused by the complicity of the government parastatals, VIO, road safety, even the government. But we shouldn't be surprised, because at this point, if you don't know how horribly corrupt the entirety of the Nigerian institutions, the government, and everything that makes up the government, if you don't know how corrupt it is now in 2025, I don't know what to tell you. It seems like Very Dark Man himself is just discovering how corrupt, how unsustainable the entire Nigerian system from the government from top to bottom. He's just discovering it himself, but I give him all the respect, because this guy in the last week alone, Not only has he forced the government of Edo State expose Dangote refinery, their company, for their transportation malpractices, hiring unqualified drivers that are high on drugs, killing people all over the roads. Apart from the fact that the government workers, or rather officials, the politicians, they stole the money that was supposed to be used to repair the roads so that trucks can drive safely on the roads. There are no roads that are good because they've already stolen the money that is supposed to be used to repair and build the roads. Plus, they now endanger the people's lives by not properly managing companies like Dangote that just put high drivers on the roads to kill the people. So many factors are killing Nigerians, and Nigerians are just helpless. So thank you, very dark man, for your great work. This guy, again, single-handedly with his friends, motivating his friends, they went after kidnappers in Edo State. They exposed the complicity of the Nigerian police and the soldiers. They had a victim that was shot by kidnappers. This guy was laying down in his pool of blood on the roads, on the ground, like 50 meters away from soldiers, Nigerian soldiers. They didn't rescue this guy. They left him to die. The Nigerian soldiers, they were police guys, they were military guys, like 50 meters away from where this guy was laying in the pool of blood. Everybody else in that vehicle was kidnapped and taken into the bush. The soldiers left this guy bleeding on the ground. When VDM and his convoy passed and VDM saw this guy laying down in the pool of blood, that's when they turned around, and because of VDM's ginger, his motivation, they came around and they picked him up. They picked up that guy and they took him to the hospital. Now he's recovering. He's recuperating because of Very Dark Man. Very Dark Man is like the government. He's single-handedly the government of Nigeria. And I really hope, it's just unfortunate what Nigeria is, and even the people is so unfortunate. But I really hope people can be inspired by this and they can begin to follow VDM's way. Bro, you have to, you're your own country. You as an individual, you are your own government. Prove me wrong. If you're not your own government, why do you have to provide yourself with electricity, water, security, everything else? You provide yourself with everything. You don't get medical subsidies. If you fall sick and you have to go to the hospital, you are responsible for paying it for yourself. You are your own government. There is no government there for you. The government, the Nigerian government, all they do is pretend like there is a country that they are governing over, and then they borrow money using that pretend country that doesn't exist, because it really doesn't exist. If Nigeria existed to these politicians, they wouldn't be traveling to Europe when they fall sick. That they are not going to be going to Europe because they are sick and it's time. It doesn't make sense. You think about it. If these guys are sick and you believe you have a country, why don't you fix the hospitals in your country so that when you are sick, you can go use that hospital, as opposed to having to travel 6 hours away to Europe by air? But they don't care about Nigeria. They themselves, they don't believe in Nigeria. So the people, the young people that still believe in Nigeria, that still believe they can salvage something, they should be inspired by guys like Very Dark Man, guys like Omoyele Sowore. Those are the kind of guys that are... Sowore has been doing it for so long. He's also not perfect. He has a lot of reasons why many people dislike him. But the guy, he has shown himself over the years, trying to inspire you to stop worshipping these criminal politicians that have put everybody in a mess. But I digress. Very Dark Man, nobody should criticize this guy. He's single-handedly doing what the government is supposed to do. He's single-handedly bringing justice for many victims of Nigeria, like the young lady that was paralyzed in the hospital. Because of Very Dark Man, she finally had intervention to have her medical bills paid by the government of Edo State, out of shame.